We are back with more of our Chef's Choice Week on Today Food. In the hot seat this morning, Katie Lee, co-host of the Food Network show, The Kitchen. Katie, good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning.
So it's Chef's Choice, and as soon as we gave you a choice, you blurted out two words, penne pie.
I love this recipe. I made it about a month ago. It was really cold, and I made this recipe, and it just was one of my favorites.
Is it a family recipe? Where does it come from?
I just kind of made it up one day. I love pasta, and I love like a bolognese, and I thought, let's put it together with some cheese and bake it and see what happens.
I usually take time to be convinced, but I have to say the finished product over there looks great. Talk to me about the ingredients.
Okay, really easy ingredients here. I'm using penne pasta, ricotta cheese, Parmesan cheese, mozzarella cheese. We've got onions, eggs, ground beef, parsley. You can use homemade marinara sauce or store-bought.
All right, where do we start?
All right, so I've got a large pot of boiling water, salted, and you want to cook your pasta about 3 or 4 minutes less than the package says.
Because this is going to go in the oven later and continue cooking.
It's going to cook a second time, yeah. So you just want to drain that out and save some of your pasta water because we're going to use that in our sauce.
Was that about half a cup?
Yeah, and you're just going to add a few tablespoons, see what it looks like. Okay, I've got ground beef browning right here.
Could you use another kind of meat if you wanted to?
Totally. You could use ground turkey. You could use some sausage, ground pork, whatever you like. You could make it vegetarian in the summertime. You could put a bunch of chopped vegetables in there.
All right.
And then you just want to drain this beef, so we're going to take some of the fat out.
So you want to make sure you don't get that oil in the finished product. Why, that won't hold together as well?
Well, you know, it'll just be kind of greasy, and it won't taste as good. So we're going to use the same pan. Add a little bit of olive oil, add those onions in there. Okay, and you just want to saute those until they're translucent and tender. It takes, you know, about 5 minutes. And I've got some over here.
So you set those aside for a second,
yeah, set that aside. And then now we're going to make our sauce. So I'm starting with ricotta cheese. Add those onions in there. And then some eggs. And the eggs are going to hold everything together if you'll start whisking that. And the eggs just kind of act as our binder. And I'm going to add in some Parmesan cheese. And some fresh parsley. And here's our tomato sauce. So all good stuff in here. Let's put a little bit of salt in and some more pepper. And our pasta water. So the pasta water is going to thin this down, but then thicken it up when it goes in the oven.
All right, great.
And add in that beef.
Okay.
And you're going to toss the pasta in there, too.
Do you want the paper towel in there, too, or no?
You can leave the paper towel out.
All right, good. There you go.
And so you toss that all together, and then you add the pasta in and get it nice and coated.
All right, so that it becomes just a big mix.
Big mix, and it goes into a pan. So I like to use a cake pan because I think it gives it more structure and holds it together better. You could also use a springform pan. You could use a casserole dish. Do
you grease it at all? Or?
Yeah, grease the pan, and then top it with mozzarella cheese and some Parmesan cheese.
Let me just interrupt because we've got our panel of tasters downstairs, and they are as finicky as I am about pasta dishes.
Yum.
Guys,
this is terrific. We can't even comment on it. So good. Stuff in our faces.
Hey,
Katie, could you know, a lot of times you have those extra boxes, the half boxes of pastas. Could you mix pasta together to get rid of it?
That's a great idea, Al. That's a great idea. You can use whatever kind of pasta you like. And yeah, I always wind up with all those little bits.
Right. Never enough to make a whole meal.
Great idea. So it goes into the oven for about 25-30 minutes. You could also freeze that and bake it another time. Okay, so it comes out like this.
Right.
Take it out of the pan. It looks like that.
Now, how did you get that out of the pan looking
We did a little flip-flop.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, or if you use a springform pan, it would come right out.
All right.
And then you just slice it here.
Serve this with a little salad.
Yeah,
now, I have been honest that I did have a previous favorite. Let's see how this goes.
Let's see. What's the verdict? He's hard to please, you know.
Katie, what are these greens?
That is fantastic.
It's arugula.
That is fantastic.
Interesting.
We love it.
You like it?
Seriously, I love it. And I know I would love it with sausage meat in there also.
Oh, it'd be great with sausage.
This is really
little extra
Katie
sauce
Lee,
if you like.
fantastic penne pie. Get this recipe and much more at today.com.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.